Good afternoon. I am Andrea Chisholm with the Midday News for this Friday, October 11. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. The government has intervened to prevent a fallout in the business process outsourcing sector due to problems at the Criminal Records Office. Details in this report.
It has been 3 weeks since the Police Records Office on Duke Street in Kingston was shut down due to air quality concerns. As a result, several business process outsourcing companies have been severely impacted as persons have not been able to obtain criminal reports. On Thursday, President of the Business Process Industry Association of Jamaica, Gloria Henry, said BPO companies are facing the possibility of losing contracts because they do not have the required personnel. Ms. Henry said one company is reportedly awaiting criminal reports for more than 1,500 prospective employees. Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, Darrell Vaz, told our news centre that efforts are being made to clear the backlog.
I saw the article and passed it on to Minister Chang and also Minister Colonel Charles Jr. So we are aware of it and we're going to make provisions to make sure that the backlog is caught up and arrangements are made for speedy processing.
Ms. Henry explained that some companies have been unable to employ trainees for weeks. In the meantime, the Business Process Industry Association of Jamaica is appealing to the National Security Ministry to take action to have the backlog of police reports cleared urgently.
We have been in discussions with the Ministry of National Security as well as members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and we understand the air quality issues that they're having, but we are calling on them to really address the problems with urgency because of the impact that it is having on the BPO sector.
The Police Records Office was relocated to Orange Street on Monday, but similar concerns have been raised. OSHANE Masters, TVJ News.
The opposition is calling for a forensic audit of the Career Advancement Program Youth Empowerment Solutions CAPIES project at the Caribbean Maritime University CMU. Prosecutors allege that CMU President Professor Fritz Pinnock, former Education Minister Ruel Reid and 3 other people have defrauded the Education Ministry and CMU more than $56 million. They are out on bail on multiple charges. Opposition spokesman on education Peter Bunting says there should be a detailed audit of the CAPIES program.
Really, this whole parallel CAP program that the CMU has been running, which on the face of it is being used as a slush fund for various political purposes, I think that requires a forensic audit by the Auditor General or some independent auditor that she selects.
In light of the revelations about contracts under the program, Mr. Bunting says it's surprising that former JLP MP Othniel Lawrence, who was engaged under the project, is still employed to the CMU. The ministry has pulled the plug on the CMU's CAPIES project. It was designed to provide an opportunity for unattached youths to earn a skill or further their education. And as the CMU corruption case gets underway, Executive Director of the National Integrity Action NIA, Professor TREVOR MUNROE, is warning that the world is watching. He says the handling of the case will say a lot to global investors. Professor MUNROE notes that in the Global Competitiveness Report, which influences investment decisions, corruption is among the top 3 most problematic factors for doing business in Jamaica.
So it is in our interest, in order to get more investment, have more job creation, create more decent employment, it is in our interest to ensure that we deal more effectively with corruption.
He says it will have an indirect impact on future assistance for infrastructural development projects.
It is also in the interest of the taxpayers in the United Kingdom, taxpayers in the United States, taxpayers in the European Union, that we behave in a manner that ensures that the grants and the aid that they give us to build a school, to rehabilitate a road, to equip a hospital, that those funds don't end up in corrupt pockets, but they actually reach the target so that the Jamaican people benefit.
Justice Minister DELROY Chuck has added his voice to the paternity leave debate. The issue has gained attention after another high-profile corporate company implemented the measure for its workers. The opposition leader even promised to pass a law for paternity leave if his party forms the next government.
What I think is needed more than anything else is paternal responsibility. Not paternal leave, paternal responsibility, where fathers are urged, coerced, and demanded to live up to their responsibilities.
Mr. Chuck was speaking at a child diversion symposium in St. Mary, blasted fathers who only show up after their children achieve success. The minister also doubted the effectiveness of the state-run reformative
Formative school, you say? Formative. And I mean, even though that could be used as a deterrent, the truth is, once they get to these schools, in 9 out of 10 cases, that's the end of them. Take it from me, if once you send a child to a proof school, any sort of institution, for any extended period of time, all the research have shown you have labeled them, you have characterized them, not only as wicked, but as criminals, and invariably they end up in the institution, prisons.
And it's time for a break here on the Midday News, but stay with us. More stories right after these messages. Welcome back, and we're continuing the news. The body of an unidentified man was found last night along Newton Avenue in Portmore, St. Catherine. The body is believed to be about 25 years old, slim build, and about 5 feet 10 inches long. The body had a low-cut hairstyle and the numbers 27 and 6 tattooed on the left arm. Reports are that about 9 o'clock, residents stumbled upon the body with multiple stab wounds and alerted the police. Lawmen are appealing to anyone with information to contact the Portmore Police at 876-949-8422, Crime Stop at 311, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Minister with responsibility for education, Carl Samuda, is praising efforts of one charity organization in Negril, Westmoreland for providing facilities for students with special needs. Mr. Samuda and a team from the ministry recently toured the Savannah Lamar Inclusive Infant Academy. Details in this report.
Schools for students with special needs, particularly in Western Jamaica, are scarce. This has led the ROCKHOUSE Foundation in Negril to answer the call in Westmoreland. Peter Rose is the president.
We constructed this school from below the ground to the top of the roof, and it cost approximately $600,000 US, all of which the ROCKHOUSE Foundation raised overseas and then directly spent to create this facility, hiring local workers from the surrounding communities, many of whom have not been working for a very long time. So it's not just the construction of the facility and providing the opportunity for the children with special needs and the typical learners that are both here together, but it's also a process of uplifting the community as a whole.
The school caters to children who are typical learners as well as those with developmental and physical needs. Classes have a maximum of 20 students with a lead teacher, an assistant, as well as a caregiver.
All of the children here have this opportunity, whether they're children that are typical learners or children with special needs, to understand that no matter how they look, no matter how they walk, no matter how they talk, they're human beings on this earth and deserve to be treated with the same respect as anybody else.
ALIYAH ADAMAN is a physical therapist at the school.
We see a range of students with neurological disabilities such as cerebral palsy, epilepsy, and spina bifida. Most of the students we see have cerebral palsy.
In applauding the efforts of the school, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Education, Carl Samuda, says this is a model worth following in other parishes.
I just learned that we only have 6 speech therapists for 3 million people. And that is a tremendously important area. And it is something that we'll have to look into at the ministry level.
The ROCKHOUSE Foundation is really helping us in Western Jamaica. He helps with the basic schools as well as the primary school, helping with breakfast programs, helping with establishing the integration of technology. And so we want to just, really show our appreciation to ROCKHOUSE Foundation for helping us in Western Jamaica.
The ROCKHOUSE Foundation is a charitable arm of the ROCKHOUSE Hotel in Negril. OSHANE Masters, TVJ News.
And in sports, former Arnett Gardens player Kimani Arboin has expressed deep regret for his actions, which resulted in him being released by the club due to a fight with spectators in the Red Stripe Premier League last month. TVJ's Simon Preston has that story.
The 22-year-old midfielder was released for these actions on September 22 in an away fixture against Malines United at Drewsland. After being substituted in the 80th minute, Arboin took to the stands where a verbal altercation turned physical and he was eventually shown the red card. But why did he feel to need to jump over the fence? Arboin says fans were disrespecting his late father, Carlington Emmanuel.
I never saw something good me do, but honestly, my father, them talk bad about him. I love that man so much. Been here. He's an Arnett guy. He used to play for Arnett guy as well, and he's a big man in the club and thing. And really never expect nobody to talk them things about my father. Kind of trigger me off.
Arboin says getting physical was never his intention.
I didn't go to fight, as you can see in the video. I went there and I was talking. He must say, if me a bad man, I must say, so you a bad man, you a bad. The other guy in the white push me. Same time now I start retaliate. And I go for fight. He said, come over here, so I go over there.
After almost a month, he says he regrets his decision.
I watch back the video and shape made my grandmother, everybody, I said, and I made this because I'm not the type of person, but really know what trigger me off. And me as a man, I not really like lose to at the same time.
And he also gave a message to the nation.
Jamaica, I'm really sorry. I really want to say sorry to the people in my community, the people who watch the video, the coaching staff, the coaches, the minister. I want to say sorry to my family, my friend, them. I'm really disappointed, I think, and I know I come back, come prove the whole country wrong and show them the type of person really is and not what them see on the video.
Simon Preston reporting for TVJ Sports.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.